They said we about to go live with Uncle Neely and Big Dog Chico. Yeah, let's do it. Well, this right here, Uncle Neely, this is going to be for the thousands that should be watching. And as I say every week, for the millions that watch the Buff all around the world, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, dogs and cats, cousins, aunties, and their boyfriends too. It is the Big Dog Chico and the badass Uncle Neely right here, bringing it to you live and direct on Sunday Night Live with Uncle Chico. If you don't know, now you know. Unc, how you doing? We back with another one, baby. Talk to me.
Man, I'm going to talk to you like I know you, because I do know you, and I got to show you. Nothing but the love coming from the dirty. We still in the dirty South, baby. I'm leaving Mississippi tomorrow, headed back to Boulder, Colorado. Bye week is done, but I said, it's Sunday fun day. Let me get one more Uncle Chico live from the crib before I get on that big bird and head west tomorrow. Chico,
yes,
you could be doing a lot of things in a lot of different places, but you checking in with us live on Sunday night, the Unc and Chico show. Shout out to GlassHouse Optical. I'm rocking them. Shout out to Goonsville. We rocking them. Let's get this thing started. We got a lot to talk about, but the folks got to join the conversation. They got to let us know where are they checking in from. So type what city it that you coming at us with. Let's get this thing going, man.
Yes, it did. Your city, your state, put it in the chat right now. Y'all go ahead and turn the chat up one time, man. Let us know where y'all checking in from and who.
Yeah, it's important. It's important. Me and Chico, we from the South. We know about small towns. Now, when you say that you from Memphis, you ain't got to put Tennessee. When you say you from Dallas, you ain't got to say Texas. But if you put in Coldwater, you got to put Mississippi. Now, we don't know what some of these places are.
Mississippi.
You got to name. You got to name that thing on out if we don't know now.
Damn, Coldwater. That's an actual place.
Oh man, Coldwater is right there south of Memphis, Senatobia, Mississippi, Tate County. Coldwater, Mississippi is a place.
Dang. Well, then you might have to say Dallas, Texas, because there's the Dallas, Pennsylvania, right? Well, we all know.
Ain't nobody think about Dallas, Pennsylvania, man.
Shout out to my geography teacher.
No. Only Pennsylvania I'm thinking about right now is my Cowboys are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We get to do that thing every 4 years, and I like our odds, man. I'm going to Cowboys tonight.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I guess you got to go with your team.
Well, I got to go with my team.
I'm going to go with the longest tenure coach in the NFL, my main man, Mike Tomlin, with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I ain't mad at that. That's my frat brother. He's a fellow Kappa member, been with him 18 years. And get this, has never had a losing season. Never had a losing season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Has always been on the plus side. When that brother does decide to retire, first ballot Hall of Famer, man.
Yes, indeed. Real quick, you said your frat brother. It always remind me of my cousin who's a Kappa out of Alabama State. And I saw some pictures of him. Alabama State had their homecoming. Did they play FAMU?
I think they did. Right? Yeah, I think they did play FAM for homecoming.
Okay. Do you have any, I hate to put you on the spot right here, but do you have any HBCU updates, Jackson State updates that anybody need to know about or that went on?
No, I did watch the Jackson State game on Saturday. They were down in Mobile for the Gulf Coast Classic against Alabama A&M. And it was a blowout early, but Alabama A&M came back and made a game out of it. I think the final was 45-38, but at one point, it was about 45 to damn near nothing, and they came all the way back. So Jackson State Tigers, much like the Buffs in Colorado, are 2-0 in conference. So that's what you want. You want to win them conference games.
All right. Well, man, they say it's the Dallas, Georgia too. Okay. Well, I would say this, and I've said from previous lives that I think college football is going to be a lot different this year. We're going to see a lot of teams at the top taking some losses, whether it's Bama, Georgia. I didn't know when it was going to come, but apparently this past weekend was probably the weekend that it happened. And you see all these teams fall right here. Alabama to Vanderbilt, Tennessee falls to Arkansas, Washington beat Michigan, Minnesota over USC, and Texas A&M beat Missouri. All of these things happening in college football right now. Do you think this is a result of, I'll just say, I won't say what do you think this is a result of, with all the parity seemingly in college football, and how does this open up a lane for Colorado?
Yeah, well, first thing is, do a little coach talk. You always hear any given Sunday when it comes to NFL because they're all professionals. And you never really heard any given Saturday in college because there used to be some significant talent gaps in schools based on experience, seniority, and that kind of thing. But I believe now you truly do have any given Saturday in college football because of the transfer portal, because of NIL opportunities. Every team, has experience now. Every team can have depth now. And so you can get what's on paper or upsets. But if you look at these rosters, everybody is just as talented as somebody else is. And the one thing I've said from the beginning, Chico, particularly when Colorado lost against Nebraska and everybody thought the world was on fire, because of the playoff system, the 12-team playoff system, because if you're going to get automatic bids from the conference championship winner and then fill it out with the top 8 remaining, you're going to have people in the playoffs with 2 losses. Just a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, if you lost one game, you were out of it. That's not the case now. You can win and then take 2 losses at the beginning of the season, the end of the season, middle of the season, still get to your conference championship, win it, then you're automatically in. You can have 2 losses and still be in the top 12. Because look at this right now. If you look at the AP poll that was just released this afternoon, and you go by the top 12 teams in the nation, 6 of them have 1 loss.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't even halfway through the season.
Exactly what I was going to say. And I think it's going to continue. That trend is going to continue just by all the things you just stated right there. And so many other good players are spread out across college football now. Any given Saturday, you can get beat. Who would have thought Alabama would go into Vanderbilt, where Nick Saban once said, everywhere is hard to play in the SEC. And he said, except for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And and now
that didn't age well.
That did not age well at all, as the Commodores of Vanderbilt get a win up there. Shouts out to Eddie Harris Jr., who played for Vanderbilt also from the crib, but he's coaching up there now too. So, a big win, and I think it's going to continue. And you see a lot of Big 12 teams too. The same thing. You got teams like Utah falling to Arizona, then Arizona losing this past week, Kansas State and BYU and things of that nature, man. I think it's just going to be, as long as if Colorado do what they're supposed to do throughout this season, I think we'll be in great position at the end of the year to battle for that conference championship.
Absolutely, and I think that what's ultimately going to happen now that everybody is truly into conference play, you're going to have a cannibalization takes place.
Right.
At some point there are going to be 2 teams undefeated in conference and they play each other. Well, somebody's going to lose and then somebody's going to drop down the slot. And so I think ultimately, as this conference schedule goes on through October, through November, everybody at some point is going to need what we call in football a little help. You're going to need to win your games, but should you slip and lose one, you just need somebody else to lose one too, or somebody else to come along and beat who you lost to, so you get that footing back. The Big 12, as you know, Chico, doesn't have a North or South or East or West division. It's just a straight up conference. So the top 2 teams are who go to Dallas for the Big 12 championship. Right now, Colorado Buffs are 2-0, and you got other teams in the conference that are 0-2 in conference play. So you got to like where you are. You got a home game coming off a bye week. That's much better than a road game coming off a bye week. So all you got to do is take care, like you said, brother, take care of business.
Take care of biz, like the sun, taking care of. All right. So we have things coming up later on in the show. We're gonna make sure we get this time our top 5 R&B groups. All right, y'all, let us know in the chat who your top 5 R&B groups are, and let's
do this real quick, Chico. I know we had promoed that Jeremiah Brown was coming on, and he certainly was scheduled to come on, and he is scheduled to come on. What had happened was, when this show is always 8 p.m. Mountain on Sunday nights, we had some team meetings and a practice to come up, and when he had agreed to come on. So as soon as that's over, hopefully he'll be joining us before the show ends. But he is still slated to join us and wanted to put to rest that he ain't transferring, baby.
Yeah, talking about all the rumors and things out there in these YouTube. I almost said YouTube streets, but I'm gonna say YouTube hallways because in some cases it's almost like high school or junior high school with the
Yeah.
way people be talking and latching on and bringing up stuff and keeping things going and just oh man. So I get frustrated with it sometimes. I didn't until this weekend, until I did a little research. I was like, why does everybody keep let me go do a little research. And oh damn, these people, they don't know that. So it's crazy out here in these hallways. So yes,
Yeah.
hopefully we can go ahead and get Jeremiah on this thing. But until then, we're gonna have our top top five R&B groups. Yeah. And then we also give our players, we'll talk about some spotlight players coming up this week. We'll talk about Kansas State a little bit.
Oh yeah, got to do that, man. I think I know we're gonna get into it, but when you look at this Kansas State matchup, Chico, you talk about teams that are almost mirror images of each other. The yardage that we give up, the yardage that we do, total yardage wise. Of course, ours is skewed more toward passing, and theirs toward running. But when you look at the totalities, whether it's penalties and yardage, what we do on defense, offense, statistically, these two teams have been mirror images of each other so far this season. So it's just a matter of seeing who's going to be able to hit their averages and who's going to be able to keep the other person below theirs.
Yeah, I'm going to give more of I think in-depth breakdown on my end. Probably like I'll say Wednesday.
Yeah.
Just looking at the teams, and based off how I broke down the UCF game and talked about how their quarterback, they like to run with the quarterback, but he's more of a bigger quarterback, not really a home run hitter type quarterback, I would say. I think this kid, Avery Johnson, can be that home run hitter, so we're going to have to find a way to bottle him up. And the main thing, I think the key for this defense and for this win is to create turnovers. They're going to be on the road. They turned the ball over at BYU. If we can force those turnovers and create extra possessions for Shedeur Sanders in that offense, that's going to put us in great position to get a win versus a very good Kansas State team that wants to run the football rather than pass it. And that's their MO. That's their thing. They want to run the football. When Dylan is in, they're going to look to try to get the ball in his hands, whether it's screen passes or long handoffs or zone handoffs or whatever. So we got a tough task ahead, but they have a tough task ahead also to face us. So we're looking forward to a good game in Folsom Field, under the lights, 8:15 p.m. kickoff. Do you think this game is going to last all until the wee hours of the night for the people on the East Coast?
Not from an overtime standpoint. I don't think this one will necessarily be an overtime game, but because it is a TV game with a 9:15, Central 10:15 Eastern kickoff, it's going to be one of the morning on the East Coast, baby. And so it's going to be another, late night. This is that primetime matchup, and so it's going to be a long night and a long day. The key during that day is, man, keeping the guys engaged, but yet off their feet. I'm sure, just like what's happening right now as we speak, it will happen again later in the week. Have a night practice so that you can get acclimated to having such a later kickoff. But Big Dog, when you talked about opening of the show and how teams are so similar now because of the portal and NIL and things that are coming into play, and then you look at this Kansas State team and how statistically a lot of things are similar. Here's some things, and you touched on them, that negate being similar in production, and they don't require talent. Effort. So which team is going to have the most effort? Who's going to have the fewer penalties? Who's going to have the fewer or most turnovers, depending on which way you measure it? And then just, execution of play. This is going to be an emotional game for some people. You got a former player coming back. You got two teams with a similar record. Conference game after the first bye week. Emotions are going to be riding high, but who can play within control, fewest turnovers, fewest penalties, and keep that effort going from start to finish? And that's who's going to win the game.
Yes, stay disciplined, dog. Stay discipline throughout this ball game. Stay focused. I see in the chat, y'all have questions. Y'all put them in the chat. Let us go ahead and get to them as soon as we can. But I did see someone put in there, and I think we could ask Uncle about Shilo Sanders. There's Shilo Sanders update.
Well, the update going into the bye week was that he was going to play this week. There's been some indicators even before this week that he could have played, but with the bye week being so close, why not just take that extra week, sit out UCF, and come back after that? So I'm fully anticipating that Shilo will be practicing this week and playing this week. And from an emotional standpoint and talent standpoint, it's going to have an impact on the game. You get your vocal leader back there. Of course, when you look at what this defense has accomplished in his absence, has not been any drop-off because of Cameron Silverman, Craig, and Carter Steinmeier, and DJ McKinney. The list goes on and on with Preston Hodge. Now you get another guy back there that rotationally and scheme-wise, you get to do some of the more productive things that you were working on across the summer and early in the season. So going to be a welcome back addition from a leadership and talent standpoint, but I'm fully expecting that Shilo plays this week.
Man, that's going to be big time addition to have Shilo back there with the cast on too. Whether he's not going to. I was about to make a joke.
Oh no, it can be by rule. It is your forearm. It can be used.
Oh, y'all heard that, right?
Yeah, like if you have a cast on your wrist or hand or whatever, it's you still have to tackle within the rules, but you don't put it up because it has a cast on it.
Right.
So you learn how to get creative with that thing.
Yep. There you go. Let's see. Let's get to some questions here. Any super chats? We'll make sure we read the super chats. We have one coming in right now from Reverend BJ Nelson out in San Francisco. Reverend BJ Nelson, yes.
Rev got that hat on, got that gray beard. I like
clean, ain't
it? Yeah.
Salute, Big Dog Neely in chat. Good Sunday. Yes, indeed. Happy Sunday to everybody out there where y'all checking in from.
I almost said I fucks with Rev. Then I realized he a Rev, so I shouldn't say that. I was just going to say I'm down with Rev, man. Reverend B.J. Nelson in the building.
Unless he's the cursing Reverend?
Yeah. Out of Memphis. Yeah, the cussing pastor, Thad Matthews. Shout out to Thad Matthews.
His name.
Oh, man, I rock with him. I know the pastor. Yeah.
Hey, y'all remember those? I'm gonna tell you something, right? Y'all remember those pastors used to come on TV late night BET? Who was those pastors? Y'all remember those people?
They wake you up in the middle of the night. You leave that TV on if you want to.
Yeah, with the terrible green screen background. You're like,
terrible. and for the right amount of money, I'm gonna send you this prayer cloth and this oil.
Right? Yeah, $18.99. We'll get it to you right to your doorstep. Yes, sir. What's going on with Tyler J and Cordell Thomas, Uncle Elijah? Oh, now Elijah, my young bull out there in Philly on the East Coast.
Yeah, Cordell's one of those ones that should be back as well, man. I don't know about this first game after the bye week, but he wasn't predicted, to be out the whole season. So that should be coming back. And I know he's working out. I know he's recovered. It's just a matter of getting into what we quote unquote call game shape.
Exactly. That game shape is something different. If a lot of people don't realize that game shape is different from just being in shape. You got to be able to go back-to-back plays, within 30 seconds sometimes, playing back that's exerting a lot of energy.
Getting hit and taking a hit takes a lot out of you. Like you may be in cardio shape as to run your route, catch the ball and get yards after the catch, but can you block and tackle and get back up and do it again? Like game conditioning is a different level of conditioning, and it takes some time to get back into that.
All right. Hey, any questions? Let us know. We're going to get to the questions as soon as I can. Let me see. Uncle Chico, do you see Coach Prime ever coaching his alma mater? Oh, man. Well, I guess we got to say it now since I clicked on it. Get the feeling Tallahassee might be calling like Colorado did. FSU needs a savior. I'll say this. If you want to answer, you can, but I'll say this, man. I think Coach Prime is in a place where he wants to be. He has all the people around him. This is just my assessment from afar. I think he has the people around him that he wants to have around him in a good place and in a good space. And he has an opportunity to build something in Colorado, without looking over his shoulder without somebody trying to say that he's building on somebody else's platform or kids he brought in. This is all Coach Prime's doing right here. This is like his baby, and I think he's in a great place and space to even if it ever presents itself to turn down a deal from his alma mater, Florida State, because he's happy where he is. That's what I think, and I think that's where he's going to try to build for the next at least 5 seasons.
Yeah, I get everything you're saying and concur with it. He is happy in Boulder. He wants to bring a national championship to Colorado at Boulder, and everything you just articulated was spot on about him being where he wants to be and want to build and continue that process where he is. Having said that, we also must be realist and pragmatic about the process as this brother continues to be successful on and off the field, as the wins continue to pile up here, and as this initial contract comes to an end. If all those things continue to arrow pointing up, of course the phone is going to ring. Whether that phone is a Florida State phone call or or who knows what school, somebody's going to reach out and try to get him, because when you look at what he brings to the table, not only for your program internally, the external value that you get from his exposure of just being Deion Sanders as well as your head coach, absolutely the phone is going to ring. Who that phone call is from and how receptive he is to taking it, only time will tell. Because I do know this, he is happy as can be in Boulder, Colorado, and is not planning on leaving anytime soon.
Here's an on-the-spot question for Uncle Neely. What is your favorite thing to do in Boulder outside of football?
You meant the scenery, whether you can just take a drive or go up, I think it's called Beltline and Park, and just look at the mountains in silence. It is really a beautiful, beautiful area of the country. On clear days, man, you can see all the way back to the snow caps on the Rockies, the air, wildlife around, you name it. It's just a beautiful place to be. So you really don't have to have anything to do outside. Just go outside and look. In New York, you do what's called people watching. You just sit down somewhere and just watch people walk by. In Colorado, you do cloud watching. Just sit down and watch the damn clouds go by.
I was surprised by how much greenery is out there. Like you said,
oh yeah,
just whether it's the open fields right there by campus or the mountain range back there, the beautiful sight. I got to go hiking one day.
The stuff really looks like a postcard, man. It looks like green screen or a movie set or something. So what's the word? So picturesque.
Yes. Most definitely. We're going to get to these R&B groups. You have yours written down, Uncle Neely? You got yours?
Man, I don't, man. I was just going to wing it. What we supposed to come up with 5?
We got to come up with 5. I was going to try to wing it too, but I'm thinking, damn, is that an R&B group? Is that considered an R&B group? Can I say Nate Dogg?
Let's get them. Let's now. I want to preface. Now these are in no particular order. So just because I named it first or fifth doesn't mean it's my fifth or first. I'm just giving you my 5.
Should I name off some lists from the chat just to open some people's minds up?
Yeah. Spark it off, man.
Okay, so that we're not lacking anything. After 7, New Edition, SWV, Sister Without Vehicles, Escape, Guy, which y'all know about Guy. I'll put Shy in there, Boys to Men, Drew Hill, Silk, Blackstreet.
Wait, man, these all these for one person?
No. This is all from the chat. I was just naming a bunch of them so that it'll be out there. Jackson 5, Old School, Commodore, the Supremes, Temptation, Spinners. We got a lot of people to pick from. The Whispers. Shout out to the Whispers. And
I don't know if I heard one I was gonna pick. I don't know. Did I hear Jodeci? Ain't anybody named Jodeci?
I saw Jodeci in the chat. Okay, so Jodeci gonna be one good one. I like that.
Jodeci. Give me Jodeci. Give me Guy. Give me New Edition. After 7. I need one more. I go Tony, man.
Tony, okay, nice one. I like.
Yeah, give me them 5. And I didn't even get to know female groups. Them were all male.
All right, so we having the R&B draft right here, basically. Oh, I see some up there that I might have to steal. So
Now, Chico, you just don't do like you did on the movies. Don't name 20 now.
I'm naming 5.
That's why.
That's why I haven't said anything yet. But Uncle Neely said Jodeci, Guy,
Yep.
Louis D, After 7, and what was the last one? Tony. I'm going to say my first one going to be. This should trump all of yours, dog. Well, New Edition would be tough, but Boys to Men.
That's a good one.
Boys to Men. And then this one right here, I didn't even like as much, but it's going to be a tough one too because they're super talented. Drew Hill.
Now, Drew Hill ain't touching nobody on my list, man.
What? Come on, chat. Let us know. Let us know. Y'all rank these, chat. And then this one right here going to be kind of like on the edge, but since you said New Edition, does BBD count or is that too much hip hop?
That's too much hip hop. And see, even with Jackson 5 and Boys to Men, they on the edge of R&B and getting more into pop for me. They bigger than R&B.
All right.
So that's why I didn't mention them. But I'm gonna let you slide with your Boys to Men, but I'm just letting you know that's why I don't look at them as just totally R&B. But BBD is hip hop. No, that ain't R&B.
Okay, they R&B, but Boys to Men R&B. They can't help it. They got too big and it became popular.
No, they got big, dog.
Right?
Yeah, they got big. But Drew, if you telling me you putting Drew Hill over Jodeci,
Drew Hill was huge, dog. Come on now.
Come on, dog.
Me personally, I wouldn't do that. But
Drew Hill over Jodeci?
I know. No, I like Jodeci best.
Come on, chat.
But you pick Jodeci. Y'all let us know. Drew Hill or Jodeci. And since you want to argue about that, I see another one in the chat that's right here that's playing at everybody's wedding right now. With Reverend Run on a remix. What's going on across the sea?
Yeah.
Jagged Edge, dog.
Yep, Jagged Edge is a good one.
Give me J.E. Hart.
They not knocking Jodeci out, though.
Jodeci might be top 2 or top 3 out of this whole list. Yeah, Jodeci might be top 2, top 3. And my last one, I'm gonna have to go with a girl group.
Give it to me.
Let me see. I'm gonna go with who I could go. Sisters Without Vehicles. Which one? Or Escape? What y'all think, chat? Yeah.
2 good ones.
Okay, I'm going to go Escape, guys. I'm going Escape.
Okay.
Y'all let us know in the chat who won this. Y'all let us know in the chat. I got Boys to Men, Shy, Drew Hill, Escape. That's 4. Did I have 5? Oh, yeah, you X'd off my BBD. Dang.
No, I just said, well, I didn't name them. You can keep them on there.
Okay. Well, BBD. I'm putting BBD in there because, XR BBD, give me LSG. I'm done. Give me LSG. With Levert, Keith Sweat, and Johnny. Oh, man.
See, if Keith Sweat was a group, he'd be number 1. You ain't touching. You're not fucking with Keith Sweat.
And we'll be done with everything, right?
but Keith Sweat is a guy. You know, he ain't in a group.
Yeah. Keith Sweat would be number 1 of all the people who are free right now. Because we could end the conversation if R. Kelly was a group.
Look, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, dog. I know R. Kelly, you know, he did what he did. He is where he is. I get all that. But when you talk about like during the pandemic, when they were doing these verses, they better be glad R. Kelly was locked up. Nobody.
Lord.
Because you get to do songs that you did, songs that you wrote, songs that you produced. When you look at that dude's totality of what he touched, R killing everybody.
Hey, man, R. Kelly do it by himself. Uncle Kai said, Sisters with Voices. Chico, you tripping. I know what it's called. Uncle Kai, you know that. But we say Sisters Without Vehicles. That's what Cedric the Entertainer called them.
And Salty Vet did point out that R. Kelly was a group in his first album. You're exactly right. It was R. Kelly Public Announcement. So if you're going off first album, you can count that. But man, it's so many, man. Like we left out, the historic people like the Commodores.
Yes. Lionel Richie and them. That's who my favorite Bob Marley first toured with, as we go off subject a little bit more with the Commodores.
They said Force MDs and Troop.
Yeah. Hey, we got some good ones, guys. Shy Lights up in this thing. Hey, nobody said DeBarge. Come on now.
That's a good one. When you look at the Force MDs and troops for me, it just wasn't enough longevity there. It wasn't, it wasn't no catalog. It just you didn't. It wasn't a soundtrack for your prom. Like nobody. Same thing with Drew Hill. You just didn't. Come on, dog. Drew Hill ain't touching Jodeci, man.
And we didn't take it back to the old school for real because Frankie Beverly and Mays definitely would have killed something. So, hey, y'all, 112. Oh my gosh, we didn't say 112. We ought to be ashamed
about
ourselves.
112. 112 is good.
Yep. Hey guys, so y'all let us know in the chat. Keep them coming. Do not put what was it, Brown Street or Black? No, Black Street was a good one.
Now Black Street was good,
but Brownstone. I don't know if I even should say that. I used to hate seeing that video when it used to come on BET. Ooh, they played that song so much.
Shout out to High Five. I see a couple of High Five mentions. I'm always shouting out High Five whenever All Summer Long come up with all summer. I'm always hitting some High Five.
I'll be laughing. I heard it on the radio the other day. I started laughing. I said Uncle Neely broke that out. Also in vogue. Okay. The OJs. Oh man, y'all killing it right now. We appreciate that. Y'all keep them coming. What's the next top 5? What's the next draft we should have, guys? Let us know. Top 5 what? Let us know in the chat right now. What should it be? Shoes, cars, games, whatever, food. Let us know in the chat right now.
I like games. I like games.
Yeah. What type of games though?
We can go video our board game. You got some classic board game. We came
up video game. Remember, we already did video game.
Board game. Yeah. We came up at the time where board games was hey, that's all you Life, Uno. Come on, dog.
Mine was the one with the dice.
Oh, but Bubble Trouble, you the thing.
Trouble.
Yeah, Hungry Hippos.
Hungry Hippo, yes. Oh man, there's some things out there we could talk about, man. Y'all let us know. Favorite character, favorite TV shows. Flavor, I like this one. Somebody just did top 5 black TV shows.
Go. That's the one for next week.
That's the one.
There it is. There it is. Right. He getting it writing it down, y'all. Once he write it down, it's law.
It's locked in. Top 5 TV shows.
Once the pen come off the paper, it's binding then.
And y'all let us know. Also, I like somebody said Shy for sure. That was my song, right? That was my group right there, Shy.
Oh man, top 5 black TV shows. That's gonna be a good one next week. You got your homework assignments. Oh, I know, man. I can't wait.
Yes, you got your homework assignments, guys.
Whose idea was that one? When whose idea that was, put it back on the screen. I'm gonna personally get with our guy Petros over at Goonsville. We're gonna send you a Goonsville hat for the idea.
And we should do that every week then. All right, good deal. Good start right there.
That was a great idea. Top 5 Phyllis
black
Porter
TV shows.
You got a Goonsville lead coming from Uncle Chico.
Look at that. What other show y'all know on YouTube that's gonna be sending you stuff?
So Phyllis do this. Uncle Neely at thepregameshow.com. That's the email address. Uncle Neely at thepregameshow.com. Email us your address.
Make sure you put 2 E's in the pregame.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thepregameshow.com. Uncle Neely at thepregameshow.com. Phyllis Porter, send us your address. Hey, nice. Come on now. You got to wait next week now. You already named it Saturday, son.
Yes, indeed. Petro said Goonsville got you.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So you look, right now the team is in practice or should be getting out of practice shortly. Coach Prime don't like to keep them too long at practice, but it's good that they're having later practices now to prepare for the late kickoff of the Kansas State game. The preparation is there for the team. Everybody's getting back healthy. We saw Shedeur Nwankwo make a big splash and impact last game. The offensive line stepping up with 2 new starters and Kareem Harden and Phillip Houston.
Speak on it.
Look like they're saying in the chat that KSU, I had to do some research. KSU middle linebacker might be out for this game. We'll see about that. If anybody else know in the chat, let us know. But should we go ahead and get to some entertainment news or a quick entertainment fact or something that's going on in the entertainment world?
I guess she'll be logging on for the entertainment report. So whenever
we have her.
Oh, you bring it up.
All right, let's get it in.
You the man with the controls back there, baby. You got the puppet master.
Am I the producer?
You producer, puppet master. You got it all going.
But let's get it in there. We're gonna take a break from football and sports, especially on this bye week. We're gonna head over that way out there to Arleywood and see what's happening.
What's up, people? Can y'all hear me?
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Like that hat. Let me see that hat. Lean down. There you go. Yeah. Like that hat. Yeah.
These are bad hair day hats. All girls know about them. Guys might know too.
A bad hair day hat.
Yes, because people will say, "Oh my God, I love your hat." They don't know.
Is that literal, or you just ain't feeling your hair today?
I was not feeling my hair today.
Okay, so it don't have to be a bad hair day for real. It's just your outlook on it.
It's just my outlook, and yeah, okay. It's not.
I don't have a bad hair day hat. I might need to get me a bad hair day hat.
You might need to get a beard day some covering. I mean, it's all kinds of things.
They call that a comb. Yeah. If ever I'm feeling bad about the beard, you just, as Johnny Gill say, stroke. And then I rub that beard right. Yeah. And then the whole mood just changed about the beard. I feel good about it now.
Before I tell you about this entertainment news, I would like to say that Drew Hill is not getting Jodeci. Chico, it's not happening.
Listen, you gotta realize.
No.
I can't believe I'm on here. Listen, let me
I don't think Drew Hill getting anybody on my list, but they damn sure ain't getting Jodeci.
Time out, damn it, time out. Listen, no, for real. I said I picked Drew Hill because Uncle Neely picked Jodeci. I'm not a bigger Drew Hill fan than I am a Jodeci fan, but I know that there are a lot of people out there. So I kind of picked that one. That was like what they call political pick, I guess, or the best available pick, So I had to pick that because he picked Jodeci. Who am I gonna go with?
I understand, but I think the list could have the same people. It's just the order in which you prioritize them. Also, I would like to suggest that next time y'all do a top 5 like that, can y'all leave the women and the males and the females separate? I mean, it's a lot of powerhouse girl groups that can stood on their own in top 5.
Let me do this. Not necessary for the chat. We do it for the chat in another week, but just for you, the entertainment reporter, right now, putting you on the spot. Give me your top 5 female R&B groups.
R&B groups, and it can go in any. It can be any.
Any order.
No, not any order, but like it can be any generation. It can just
any generation. Okay. Your top 5.
So I have, and this is not in order. I have TLC. I have In Vogue. I have the Marvelous Supremes. I need SWV, and let me see, what's another girl? Oh, Destiny's Child.
I knew it.
I like that. It's a lot of commercial appeal to it, but I'm going to allow it because they're great groups.
Thank you so much for the allowance.
Yeah, great groups.
And they're R&B. Let's be clear, there weren't a whole bunch of R&B girl groups. A lot of them did backgrounds for folks. If you start talking about backgrounds, like the Ikettes and the Marvelettes and the Lalalettes and all the It's.
No, those are good ones.
And the I3s.
Yeah, I think your list is made up of undeniables. You can't deny TLC, Destiny's Child, SWV, In Vogue.
And Diana, baby. Diana started it for everybody.
I think the litmus test to whatever your list is, or whoever's on your list, I should say, which is why Drew Hill is easily eliminated. If wasn't no child born conceived because of one of the people on your group, you ain't on the list.
Well, I got LS.
And ain't no Drew Hill song got nobody pregnant.
LSG. Somebody sleeping in my.
Come on now. Man, Drew Hill was fire. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of Drew Hill, they were fire now. Now don't have me on here defending Drew Hill.
Color Me Bad got more people pregnant than Drew Hill did.
I hope they didn't, God. I hope they didn't. Oh, those were the people going to the clinic. The Color Me Bads were the one on the way to the clinic.
I can't believe it. Go ahead. I'm gonna pull up the Drew Hill songs then. Go ahead, God dog it.
Pull them up. Shoot. Why you pull up Drew Hill songs?
In the Drew Hill songs.
I mean, they had "Tell Me What You Want" when they did that hot "Tell Me."
Yeah, but they don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm throwing some shots. Drew Hill was the shit, but I had to throw some shots because he was.
Oh my gosh! Oh no! You didn't put your foot in your mouth this time. Drew Hill and "Beauty Is My Name." You telling me ain't no babies made on that? So
I don't know. I didn't take no
sleeping
photos.
in my bed.
Total of three.
That's,
A total of three.
come
and
on,
2 of them
man.
midgets.
Right.
The love we had. Oh my gosh, Drew Hill played
I
at
don't even
everybody's
remember that
wedding.
song. I don't even remember the love we
Five
had.
steps.
I'm gonna give you 5 steps. I give you 5 steps.
All right.
I give you 5 steps.
Wasn't that like a sad song? Like they were breaking up? I thought in 5 steps.
I don't know. I just know they played Drew Hill on the radio.
You pulled
way
up
too
that
much.
list. Chico, big dog, you know I love you.
And I didn't
Love you
say
like
what.
a play cousin, love you like a first cousin.
They got 28 more, baby.
You pulled up that list, and the only thing you did was prove our point.
You got 28 more songs.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
More songs that we don't know.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm on. I said when we did the list,
Salty
I said
Vet,
to myself,
shout out to Salty Vet. Salty Vet said there was way more babies made to Jodeci. That's my point.
Baby, because you
the list wasn't for.
No, that's R. Kelly. Never mind.
Yeah, that's Kelly.
Didn't it say
I
something
told y'all. See, that was my pick. Kelly would kill all these people. Kelly like an atomic bomb. He come and blow up the whole list. Y'all go home. Good night. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys in the chat.
Yes,
okay, we see you. Let's go. Let's get to the entertainment news.
Let's get to a little entertainment. It's your girl, Arlie Michelle, on the pregame show with Unc and Chico. What's up on a Sunday night, guys? What's up, all the people out there in the chat? Listen, this is what I want to talk about tonight. Relationships. They seem from the start. Oh, that's BBD. Anyway, as everybody now knows, unfortunately, that Cardi B and Offset are filing for divorce, right? They were having a very amicable divorce. They were going to the kids' birthday parties together. They were seeing people like, maybe they're going to reconcile. They weren't arguing. They weren't doing anything. Well, the other night on Instagram, they decided, Cardi B, I don't know what Offset did, whatever it was, put her on Instagram, and she went back to the spicy Cardi B that we all know, and she was on some, let me tell you something, boo. Don't be trying to come for my stuff. I work hard for my stuff. I'm going to do what I need, and you ain't telling me what to do, and you popping your pee all around town. Well, then he comes into the chat, and he said, no. Tell the people what really happened. You was the one that was popping your pee, and that ain't the word he used, my friends. But you was popping yours while you were pregnant with the third baby. Which that's what he said. She was like, oh, hold up, you trying to tell my business? Let me tell my own business. So it ensued a snowball effect of you said what you did, all on Instagram and chat. Now, my thing is, I feel bad. Their children, their 3 children are very young. One was born on September the 7th. So it's a month old in a few days, not even a month old. There's I think a 3-year-old, and then they have like one that might be, 2018, do the math, 19, 20, 1, 2, 23. So they have a 6-year-old, I had to do some, you saw them fingers. I had to use some fingers. a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a very, 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 very newborn. And they about to battle. I am really sad to see that their relationship, first of all, crumbled like it did, but they were on again, off again, on again, off again. They are so young to be as rich as they are and as childish. I guess it goes along with the age. They are not about to be mature. And so for you all out there in the chat, and for you two gentlemen, how horrible is it? Have you ever had a very public relationship that went south and now everybody's a part of it and they just help fuel in the fire?
No, I can't say that I have. It's I just Cardi B all of a sudden, like this is news. One thing I love about the Entertainment Report, I am like so far removed from it that this is like all news to me. So I'm over here to side, like trying to catch up on it. So let me rewind in my head. He said that she said that somebody else got some while she was pregnant
with the third baby. So she announced that she was getting a divorce and that she was also pregnant, like right at the same time. So this was at let's say August. I don't know how she kept the baby hidden. It was kind of, I guess she wasn't being out as much. And then she just popped out like, blap, I'm about to have a baby. And then the baby came like a month later after she announced that she was pregnant and she was about to have a divorce. And they have pictures of them in the hospital. He was there holding the baby with the other kids. They were just all like, ooh. And then all hell broke loose on Instagram the other night. I don't know what Offset must have said to her that put her on Instagram Live. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know. He not a bad daddy. He all right. He all right. I don't regret my kids. I don't regret my kids at all. I got 3 beautiful kids, but I regret his ass. I regret him, and I hate I ever talked to him and blah blah. Then he gets on in her chat explaining, oh, okay, this is what we doing. Why don't you tell your people that you was popping that thing? And he said he used the F word. I can't use the F word.
No, don't use the F word. You're a lady.
Yes,
I will say this. I wasn't there. I don't know. These are allegations, and it's not my business in the first place. But if somebody did get a hold of Cardi B while she was pregnant, I can remember back when I was married and had 3 kids. Ain't nothing like pregnant. It's just that this. He got some grade A, and he got it while they were pregnant because them y'all be having them extra hormones and all the everything just it's
her wop was whopping.
Yeah, the positions might have been limited, but the quality was that was.
And Cardi B looked like she'll turn you inside out, honey. So just imagine what level that was on. But she's not admitting that happened. But she's like, don't worry about it. You just mad because I'm moving on. Why you can't move on? Now I don't. Ooh.
A lot of truth to that too. Everybody, it's not like everybody need to move on. I hope it remains peaceful
for the children.
We don't need beef and violence, and that's one thing about the internet. Sad part for the kids is it doesn't delete. It's going to be there. 20 years from now, it's going to still pop up in a Google search. So I hope they put the kids first and take the emotion out of it.
And there you go. Exactly.
Nobody wins when you're shooting shots back and forth like that.
Nope. And she even was like, oh, it's no fun when mama got the gun, huh? Because she feels like she has the upper hand and she's in more control. Because, of course, back in 2018 was when he was first busted. It was like these pictures of him with some woman cheating. And she was like, we divorced. And then they got back together, had a second child. And then he got busted again, I think. And she was like, that's it. I'm done. And then they got back together. And then they had a baby. And then she was like, I'm really done this time. And they're only like 26, 27.
Yeah, they're young people, man. I'll say this, man. You know, you put that stuff out there.
It's on a big dog.
You put that stuff out there in the public, and you better expect, to have some public backlash and people jumping in who don't have anything to do with it. The best thing to do is keep that stuff private. Ocho, I'm private, Ocho. I don't do none of this stuff. I don't know how I went live, Ocho. And that's how you got to be private in private.
Yeah,
be private at home.
For the most part, Chico, I only talk to my Uncle Byron.
And that's all you need to talk to. So, hey guys, out there in the world and mainly in Hollywood, things happen like that. People have these kids together and they'll be entertainers. And honestly, when they got together, both of them were at the height of their careers. Yep. And I guess they felt like they were going to stay like that forever. I mean, eventually it comes down that honeymoon is gone, and Offset is a huge superstar who can go out there and get whatever wop that they said at any time he wants to.
Absolutely, wish them the best again. I want happy, healthy love, particularly black love to spread. Right. Should the allegations be true, shout out to that brother who got that pregnant Cardi B, because I'm telling y'all,
man. Hey, thank you, Ollie. Ollie, thank you.
Is a 12.
Yes, I'm hiding my own face at this point. I don't want to know nothing about the wop that was whopping when it shouldn't have been.
I don't either. I'm just responding to the allegations in the report. Hey,
thank you guys.
I almost said Cardi Michelle. Arlie. Next week we got the top 5 black TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you get your list together now.
Mine will be superb.
All right. Well, we'll be here for you guys to take on and hear our list, and also with Miss Arlie Michelle taking us to Hollywood. Thank you very much, Miss Arlie.
Everybody have a great week.
Yes, indeed. And we'll have her back next week, guys. Y'all check her out with her segment and also our top 5, like Uncle Neely said. Here we go. We have a lot of people in the chat right now.
I think we had a super chat. A couple of super chats pop up. Might want to scroll back and get those.
All right, let's get these super chats real quick. Pit Marine says, can you just please explain how it is that KSU is ranked and we not when both have the same record and a better conference record?
Great question. I think it's going to go back Pitt Marine to that Nebraska game. You know, when we lost that game, Nebraska was not ranked and we weren't, and then they became ranked after that game. So I think if we won that one, we would be in the mix. But certainly when we win this one, we will be. But one of the things I think this team, this coaching staff has learned from last year is not even thinking about those early rankings. You know, last year I think we had landed at 21 or 22, made it up to 15 and hopping back and forth all around. And probably looking back on it became some degree of a distraction, you know, chasing the wrong thing or paying attention to the wrong thing. So I kind of like the underestimation and the underdog and not being ranked until we beat somebody that is ranked. And I think Kansas State is coming in 20th or 21st. Chico, which one do you think?
I think 21st.
So, you know, here we are. We'll be playing a ranked team. And, you know, as the things go, when you play a ranked team and beat them, you move up, they move back. And there's other dominoes in front of you fall, you can move up even further. So I think it's that Nebraska loss that kept us from being ranked early. And then since that time, other people, you know, have played ranked people of different levels and it's allowed them to be there. So I don't think it's like necessarily some big player hating or some conspiracy. Now, when we beat Kansas State and they're ranked and we ain't in the top 25, then you're going to have your CON conspiracy.
Right. Then you have a problem right there. So I think they were, excuse me, said Pitt Marine said 18. I saw one 20th. I saw one 21. I saw different polls. I think the official one has them at 18 now, though, as of right now. So we get that win versus Kansas State at home, which would be a big win once again to get us ranked by some of these AP voters who, you know, have been hesitant to vote for Colorado. But, you know, like you said, last year could have been a distraction. I'm not one of those heavy guys who just needs to be ranked unless it's the end of the season. Once the end of the season come around, let's be ranked then and worry about that. But right now,
Alabama was ranked number 1 for about 6 days, you know, focusing on the wrong thing at the wrong time and get you caught up. And again, Chico, I just have to stress, I'm really not paying that much attention to it until mid-November, because then instead of looking at top 25, top 20, top 10, you're going to start really focusing at the top 12 and who has already secured a spot in the conference championship game. Because again, folks, and I know we talk about it a lot because it's important.
Yeah.
You win the conference championship, those 4 people are in. The person that they beat could still be in too.
Yep.
Because it's going to be rounded out by order of finish in that remaining 8 teams. I think because of the power of the SEC and some of the things that's happening and some other conferences, you could be looking at the only spot for the Big 12 would be the winner of the conference championship game. I hope that's good luck. A ladybug literally landed on my shades live on the show. I'm gonna take it as a blessing. And so I don't think you're gonna have 2, 3, or 4 Big 12 teams in the top 12. You're gonna have the winner of the SEC and probably 3 of their other teams. You look at Army and Navy, man. One of them is right now positioned to be in it, and that's a slot that you didn't think somebody would have. So the guaranteed route for a Big 12 team to get in the playoffs is winning the conference championship December 7th in Dallas, Texas.
Yep. And also we have an undefeated team in the Big 12 in the Cyclones, right? Iowa State still undefeated, right? Yep. Iowa State still undefeated. One of the top undefeated teams in college football right now. Another super chat, Patrick Williams. What is the strategy for controlling QB, Kansas State QB? Neely, you can get on that. I'll say the strategy is to contain him, keep him from finding those lanes to scramble through. Now, we can have a good pass rush on the outside and contain him, so to speak, but he could still find some lanes up the middle. That's when we have that spy linebacker like Nikai Hill-Green there to spy him, to keep him from getting those home run type big chunks of yards out of the backfield scrambling, and that's Avery Johnson. We're going to put a couple of licks on him. Hopefully he'll cough up the ball. Hopefully he won't be as accurate passing. We'll get some picks, and like I said, that'll give us some extra possessions. But stopping the run and putting them in a position where they're playing from behind and having to pass And if all of their rushing yards is just coming from him scrambling and not, handing the ball off, that means that we're leading them and they're trying to come back by passing the ball, and we can just bend but not break. I think we'll be good.
Man, it's hard for me to even find anything to add to that excellent analysis. It's going to really be on that linebacker in the middle, but I think it's going to start with the defensive ends and setting and containing the edge so he doesn't roll out. That the only way he can go is up one of those A or B gaps in the middle, and so that linebackers are going to have to be disciplined, have to be patient, be a little bored at times because he's going to be looking for him to move. How can I make that linebacker move with my eyes or my shoulder? And once he moves, then I'm going to go exactly where he was. Having said that, I do think it starts up front, though, Chico, particularly with the defensive end, so he's not breaking something to the outside and going up the sideline. So if you extend the line of scrimmage and contain him, now his only way forward is right into the chest of a linebacker. And I hope that happens because with Bentley and the Cahill Green, I think we can make him not want to do that again.
Exactly. And what you're saying is kind of like to funnel him to that linebacker, having only those, exit lanes to go through, and the linebackers are right there expecting that, so to speak. So, we could bottle him up, and we can get I think we can get a
Absolutely.
win.
Absolutely. It's all about containment. We know what Dylan Edwards brings to the table. He brought it to the table for us a year ago. And so, he has that speed, if you will, that is something we got to contend with. And I think that particularly with our linebackers, and I know for sure in our secondary, we have the speed to keep him in front of us. But it's all going to start with just the discipline of that linebacker core, man, to make sure that I don't allow the turn of his shoulders or his look in a direction to move me, and then he runs to where I was.
I'll tell you this too: the scheme, and if we can go back and look at that BYU game that forced 2 picks, I saw one came simply from the scheme. They saw and they noticed the personnel when Dylan Edwards came into the ball game. They saw on film that they love to run the screen to that same side. What did BYU do? They dropped that defensive end to the screen side. They dropped him. Avery got flustered because there was pressure from the backside, and he ended up throwing it, trying to hit Dylan on the back shoulder, but it went right into the hands of the defensive end who had just dropped. Big number 92 gets a pick. That came from scheme and knowing and watching the film of Kansas State. So I have all the faith in the world in our defensive coordinator and Coach Rob Livingston to come up with a scheme, formations, and identifying their tendencies to create some turnovers like BYU did also.
We're coming off a 5-sack game. And I like that momentum. Hopefully we're going to get some more sacks, but I do believe we're going to get a couple interceptions just off of what you just described.
Right. And Kansas State is not a huge sack team. So just like UCF, I think we could protect Shedeur Sanders for the most part, and you already know what that means. He should be carving up the defensive backfield back there for Kansas State. Now, they do have some good guys back there who can play, some good safeties, some good coverage guys, but, all in all, it's about matchups. And if we can get their 4th cornerback on our 4th wide receiver or 3rd wide receiver, I like those matchups and those odds off the top. So,
look at this, Chico. Let's just talk offense for a second. Colorado per game, 429.6 yards. Kansas State, 437.4.
Very even.
3rd down conversions, 44% us, 38% them. You look at defense, allowing 388 us, 354, them. Points per game, 23 us, 19.6. Like when you go statistically down the board, this is a very even team statistically. So it's going to become, who do you keep? Which team keeps the other team below their averages? And that's going to be predicated on effort, penalties, and turnovers. Because if I take away possessions from you, it's hard for you to keep up your average because you now have one less possession to do it with.
Exactly.
And so 3 and outs are turnovers in a game like this. Not just interceptions and no 4th down conversions, but 3 and outs are big in a game like this.
Right. Uh, we're gonna get to Jeremiah Brown as we just hit the hour mark. We get to Jeremiah Brown real quick, and I had a question right here that I just passed up. Can you tell us, because we saw the last game, how everything came together, all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And a lot of people just not realizing that we have a new special teams coach in there. Can you give us an update on our special teams coach? And I know about him, but tell us about him.
Hard to call him new. He's been here since the last guy left. So,
right,
and that was early in the season. But Rob, Coach Tommy Robinson, man, Google him, Wikipedia him. His resume is long. LSU, Texas A&M, Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you name it. Knows exactly what the hell he's doing and very capable. And has been in the room, since Coach Prime was hired. He's not a new guy. Internally was already working with special teams. When someone asks, how do we get all three phases to click at once? Let me tell you this. If I had that answer, I'd be a head coach somewhere and I'd be traveling the country charging for that answer. You work all week long and you prepare each unit. And then when you get to the game, the other team worked to take away stuff that you worked on. So it's challenging to get each phase of the game to show up at the same time. But as I've said, every Sunday night this whole season, the depth and the talent that we have on this team, what you saw against UCF, similar to what you saw against Nebraska last year, when this team has all three phases clicking in the same night, it's going to be hard for anybody to, not only can they not beat us, they can't run with us.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Another thing that you have your update. I don't think we have Jeremiah coming in as of right now, but what can you share us from Jeremiah?
Oh, I thought he had hit the link or something when you said he was
no,
he was on, because they should be getting ready to get out of there. Hold on, let me see if I just got a text from him. No, that wasn't him. So Jeremiah and I talked this week. Let me rewind and set the stage, if you will. Right. Chico and I do this show every Sunday night. We go about an hour 15 minutes. Last Sunday, about 3 minutes of that was us discussing that Jeremiah and Trevor Woods had entered the portal. And the reason we discussed this, Coach Prime mentioned it in a press conference. We talked about, from my vantage point, how that's typically an indicator in college football that somebody is going to transfer. And Chico gave many examples of how it doesn't mean that, because there are cases where people just want to develop, take a year off, blah, blah, blah. Nice little quick discussion of this whole hour and 15-minute show. That's what people want to take and run with it. But they wanted to take it from a negative standpoint, as if we absolutely said Jeremiah or Trevor, whoever was transferring. And so Jeremiah hit me this week during the bye week, man, and wanted to come on and address it. But one thing I could tell you, in his words, reading from our text exchange, I'm not redshirting to transfer. I love it here and everything that the coaches have done for me. The red shirt is to take a year and develop at linebacker, no intent at all of leaving. And then he and I went on, just talked about how people, take negative stuff and run with it, make assumptions, and he agreed with that, said, yes, sir, we could do that. I'll come on the show, so he wanted to have the conversation because he knows how social media can take stuff and run with it. But when we had agreed for this time, which is our regular show time, neither he nor I knew what the meeting schedule was going to be this Sunday evening back in Boulder. So I know he's more than willing to come on. Maybe Chico and I do a live show maybe on Wednesday or something this weekend and have him on or record something with him. But you heard from his text to me and my reading his text to y'all, and I will read it again. Let me scroll back to it, Chico. I'm not redshirt. This is Jeremiah Brown's words. I'm not redshirting to transfer. I love it here and everything that the coaches, plural, have done for me. The red shirt is to take a year and develop at linebacker. No intent at all for me leaving. Jeremiah Brown. You there, Chico? We done lost Chico. Where'd you go, Chico?
I think I'm back on now. Okay,
there we go. I started thinking to you. I said, we done lost Chico.
I can
Where'd you
hear
go,
it.
Chico?
I don't know. I just lost that. But thank you for clarifying all of that, Unc, and for everybody else out there. No, see, I just hit the portal, huh? In y'all eyes, Chico just hit the portal, but I'm back, bitch. Hey, listen,
crazy
man.
As hell. You crazy as hell.
Hey, a lot of people out there, all seriousness though, man. A lot of people out there, man, in these YouTube hallways, man, they make videos and they do things. And honestly, you know what? I've always been the guy that's just leave a lot of stuff alone. I see it, I see the mess going on. I'm just gonna keep walking. I'm just going over there. But at some point, dog, in these YouTube hallways, cuz you gotta either say something or like you said, not. And these people jumped on and said that we got on here and said that Jeremiah was going to do this, said that Trevor was going to do this. And if you went back and you listened to what Uncle Neely said, he simply said, in these days and time, in this time period, in this climate, this is what it usually means.
Yeah, it's an indicator, absolutely. And I even added,
which is true though.
Look, me and Jeremiah discussed that via text, exactly what I said, and he agreed it's true. Like, that is typically what happens when you see that happen. You look at the guy, what's the quarterback in UNLV, I think, was unhappy with his NIL and is not taking a red shirt. Well, if they don't make it right with him, he leaving. Like, that's, and then Chico so eloquently stated traditionally what it is meant, that you take a red shirt, for developmental purposes, or you can have some family stuff going on. The list goes on and on. But because people want something to be negative, and then let me say this, Chico, a lot of times in this social media content creation space, there's this assumed value of being first versus being right.
Yeah.
So people don't want to have the right information. They want to be the first one to say something. And people tried to go out there first and saying that we said or I said, when the evidence, when you listen to it, that's not what was said.
Yeah. And I just wonder how so many people be watching some of this crap. Honestly, you feel me? Like, I see some of this stuff, man, that have the most views in the world, and I can only be like, damn, they serving candy and people want candy, not realizing it's poison in them. Come over here and get these vegetables and get something that's good for you, man, which is what myself and Unc trying to do.
Crack outsells cabbage every day, but that don't mean crack good for you and cabbage ain't. Like, y'all better stop going by what's selling and what's hot and look at what's good for you. And the truth gonna always be good for you. And stop paying attention to what's first and follow what's right. And look at people's track record. When you see these content creators out there and they're always posting stuff, and then a couple of days later it's wrong, the best indicator of future performance is past performance. Like, rock with who you can trust.
Yeah, definitely. Damn, you said something right there. I'm reading this comment, but you said something right there. The best indicator of future performance is what?
Past performance.
Period, coach.
Period. Yeah.
Damn.
Period.
Okay. And somebody said, Brian said, Chico got his 100K. Where? Please show me. Are you talking about subscribers? And I haven't looked at it. I doubt if we went from 25K to 100K that fast. But
hey, I take the other 100K too. Like, you throw $100K dollars.
I'll take that too, coach. But yeah, if you can help your brother out and go subscribe to my channel right now. If you're on Uncle Neely's page, over 100,000 subscribers right now on Uncle Neely's channel. 25K on Big Dog Chico. We got 31K on Facebook. Same thing for Neely on Facebook also. Make sure y'all run those likes up, run those follows up on both channels. Each and every week, we're going to bring you guys a Sunday Night Live. This week,
shout out to my man. I just saw his name pop up. Shout out to T Voltage and so many others. But there's a lot of people, man. I recognize the screen names. They with us each and every Sunday. T Voltage, he know about them grits with cheese in them. He like them thick. That's my man. And so many other folks, I recognize their names, each week, that they're always with us, on Sunday nights.
Hold on. Betty Stevenson. See, this is what I like right here sometimes. Betty said it was wrong and all y'all content should wait, but y'all want to be the first.
Amen. That's what the church said. They better. They don't want to be right. They just want to be first and hope it turned out to be right.
Wait, is she talking about us or them?
It don't matter. Like it's the same thing. I know we ain't never trying to be first. We always be right.
Right.
Like, look, let me tell you something, Chico. And I say this as a blessing, not as in bragging.
Yes.
We could be first every time. I'm in the damn room. I'm in the like. What are you talking about? Like I can walk out the room and text Chico. And there have been times I've walked out the room and text Chico and say, "Hey, let's hold this until we do a show, or let's do this." Like it's like if being right is what it takes, not being first. And so sometimes you have to let things settle because people will have a change of heart about something. But most contents out there, man, the first time they hear something, they don't try to validate it. They don't try to get substance to it. They just run with it. And more times than not, it's something negative, not positive. They don't run with something positive. They're gonna run with something negative.
They're running with something negative. That what do they say? The lie would travel faster than the truth every time.
Yeah, man, make around the block 4 times and the truth ain't left the house yet.
And, and that's sad. We got, I guess we'll try to catch up with Jeremiah probably in the middle of this week if he wants to come on and continue to say anything else. But I think it should be pretty much cleared up out there, especially for all of the other quote unquote air quote content creators.
Yeah, I mean,
content on Coach Prime in Colorado.
I hope his text message clears up and we can spend this week focused on Kansas State. That's what we need to be doing, man.
Right. Because these hallways is some crazy. It take you right back to high school, and I got out of high school to not go back. That's why I wasn't a teacher or a PE coach.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, anyways, y'all know what to do, man. Make sure y'all go check out Goonsville Clothing and get you some hoodies, hats, and all the other good stuff. If you want to get some frames like Uncle Neely or myself is wearing, or even something colder than what we're wearing, you can go to Las Vegas, you can go to Arizona, or you can go to Denver in the Cherry Creek Mall and get you some at GlassHouse, at the GlassHouse, or go online, GlassHouse Optical.shop, and they'll send it straight to your doorstep. All right. And also get you some custom CU gear from MDJOriginal.com. MDJOriginal.com. You already know what we're doing. We're riding with Coach Prime all day, every day. All the super chats. We appreciate you coming through. We got one more right here from Patrick Williams. Block Bully heard the noise. The K-State podcast is trivia. I saw that. More bulletin board material for us as K-State podcast was on there talking smack, saying they're going to run through us. And Block Bully commented and said, pretty much he laughed at it. Said, okay, we'll see about that. So challenge has been accepted. You feel me? T. Vulture said I would be a cold PE coach. I know I would, but I didn't want to keep going back to high school, though. I got out of there for that. If that was the case, I wouldn't have passed classes. Hell, if I wanted to go back. That was my logic. I know it don't make sense, but that was my logic. Hell.
Tell me what you want.
All right, fellas. We appreciate y'all coming through, ladies and gents, girls and boys, children, dogs and cats, everybody out there from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the Pineapple to the Big Apple. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. This has been another episode of Sunday Night Live, where you could join the conversation with Unc and Chico, the coldest show on the internet. They got anything to do with Coach Prime and the CU Buffs. You know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, come out, all the other good stuff. We're going to be up and about this thing. Big Dog Chico, badass Uncle Neely. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.